What's going on? I am AnokhiTheOne, back with another video. And you can see from the title basically what I'm going to be talking about today. If you're looking for me to have a video of the actual experience in real time, you're not going to get it. Because for one, that never even crossed my mind. And I'll tell you in the throughout the story how everything was divinely orchestrated. I didn't realize it was Pride, like the day the Pride parade was going on, because I don't really go to Pride. Sometimes I go to the after events, surrounding events, different things like that, but I usually don't go to the parade. I've only been like twice in my life. And it was underwhelming, in my opinion, both times. So I was walking my dog, and I see the balloons and different things like that, because I live in walking distance from the parade. I could probably see the parade from the roof going down the street, rooftop, which is here in my apartment. So I'm walking my dog, I see the balloons going, I see people with rainbows walking around the neighborhood, rainbow colored t-shirts, stuff like that, which is not too abnormal because it is a gay neighborhood. So, but it was just an extra lot. And I'm like, oh, I never said extra lot before in my life. So I was like, okay, I guess Pride's going on. And I thought maybe I should go. And then I was like, no. And then I thought, maybe I could go to some events around Pride. So I'm thinking about this. And then I go to my apartment. I'm still thinking about it. I look up some events, some like black lesbian events, because if you know, you know. We're segregated, if you didn't know. But so there's that. So I found an event. I'm like, oh, this would be fire. This would actually be cool. I look for some clothes. I'm like, I'm not feeling nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me go. Maybe I should go to the mall. This is important for you to understand the process. So y'all might think I'm rambling, but every single detail led up. Now, I had to park on the 5th floor. My apartment's on the top floor of the apartment, but there's 2 extra floors for the parking garage because there's a lot of people. So because there's probably people parking here because of the parade, I had to park a level higher. All of this is important. Okay. So I find what I'm looking for as far as the event that I want to go. Then I decide on where I want to go. I procrastinated. I just was scrolling and I'm like, okay, dang, everything's going to close in an hour that I want to go to. So I need to hurry up. And then all of a sudden I started feeling a sense of urgency. And I was about to go and just change all the clothes I had on, which would have took time for me to think about it, and change the clothes and everything. And there's a moment where I just paused. And I literally said this out loud. I was like, I really got to go. Like, I have to go now. And I was just like, okay. I put some slippers on. It was like I was rushing. I ran and put some slippers on. I'm like, how am I going to the mall with slippers? It was like out of my control at that point. So I'm walking down the hall, speeding down the hall like I'm just super rushing for something. And I go to the 5th floor, and as I'm walking down the hall, my phone dies. I never let my phone die, right? As I'm walking down the hall, my phone dies. I'm like, oh. So now I'm rushing, hurrying up, trying to get to the car. I'm rushing even faster to get to the car so I can charge my phone. So by the time I get out of the parking garage, I can use my GPS so I can get to where I need to be. And this is another thing. Had the phone not died at that exact moment, my attention could have been in the phone, typing in the GPS, trying to figure out where I'm going, and not being present and paying attention. You see how divine order works? So I sit in my car, put my phone on the charger. I look up, I see a person walking on the roof. It was just like a flash. I was just like, wait a second. And I could tell just in that quick flash that this person ain't supposed to be on this damn roof. It was like he had came from the Pride parade. I'm just like, wait, what you doing on our roof? And it was super quick. And my first thought, my conscious mind, I'm like, look, I don't have time to be trying to figure out why somebody's on the roof. I gotta rush and go to the mall so I can get some clothes so I can go to this party, even though I never party. Okay. And if I sit up here and try to investigate, really it's none of my business. This is all the stuff going on in my mind, but I'm still driving up. I'm still getting out of the parking garage. I'm driving up, and then I'm going up to the next floor higher, even though I'm talking all this mess in my head, right? So I get up there, and I see him. He's all the way in the back, and I have a picture to show you, like, what the rooftop looks like, and probably where he was. He's all the way on the other side of the rooftop at this point, towards the street. And I'm just like, okay. And as I was talking all this mess going up to the next floor, I started to rationalize. I'm like, now, if this person is actually, then it started to flash in my head, this person might be trying to jump off the roof. And I'm like, now, if I sit up here and I rush off to the mall and I come back and find out that that flash that I saw was somebody that was about to jump off, and I didn't do something, I'm not gonna be able to do it myself. So then I'm like, okay, what I need to do? So I get to and before I could even drive up all the way, I seen him, so I just jumped out of my car and shot across to where I can get as close as possible to, like, directly where he was. And I just started yelling. I'm like, hey. And I kept saying that until he turned around. And it was like he was kind of out of it. And he turned around and smiled. It was like this broken smile. And he's a little flamboyant. When I say a little flamboyant, I'm like, I don't want to say flamboyant. It's like a little tinge. You know what I mean? It's not like super over the top. It's just a little where you're like, okay, you're family, right? It's not too crazy. And he was Latino. He was probably like 22, a baby, and kind of like skinny, like he could be a gamer in an anime type of thing. And he turned around and smiled. He's like, oh, hey. I was just like, what? I was like, oh, what's going on? You need some help? And he was like, oh yeah, I got lost. So he started slowly walking back towards me, and he couldn't see me at first because I was a level higher. So he was looking in the parking garage, and it's dark on the lower levels, so he's looking straight ahead, but I was a little bit above. So he got to this corner, and I was like, how did you get over here? How did you get up here? What you doing? What's going on here? And it was interesting because I never acknowledged that there was the thought in my head that he could be jumping, right? He could be trying to jump. The whole time, I'm just going with him. Whatever he telling me, I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like, how did you do that? What did you do? Right? Super calm. And so we're talking. I'm like, okay, so what? He's like, oh yeah, I got lost, and I don't really know how to get back. I was trying to get to the fourth floor or something like that, and he's like, somehow I got up here. I'm like, oh yeah, well shoot, I don't know how to get over here, because this is the parking garage over here. That's the apartments. So yeah, I mean, so he throws his legs over the edge in this little corner I'm gonna show you a picture of. He throws his legs over there. He's like, maybe I can go off over here. Maybe I can get there from here. And he starts inching his leg, like he sticks his leg out, one of his legs out. And he's like this, sticks one of his legs out towards the roof of the little bridge that goes from the parking garage to the apartments. And I'm just like, no, that's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not, because basically If he wanted to get back over here or over there, there was like a gap between the roof and the bridge part. So he would have had, if he would have actually made it on the roof, he would have had to swing and drop perfectly. I'm like, you ain't about to do that. You ain't about to do that. And you making me nervous right there in that corner. I had a flash where I looked all the way down. Oh, hell no. No. Please don't do that. Stop. And he was super like, kind of like goofy, like it's not a big deal, smiling and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you're trying to give me a heart attack. Okay. So then he put his leg back, and then he was just talking to me sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think you sitting right there is a good idea either. Could you just get back on the roof right now? Because I can't take this right now. This is, I'm going to be selfish right now and say I can't take it. You seem comfortable. I'm not comfortable with you sitting right there like that. So then he gets back on. He's like, oh, okay. I'm just like, boy, you stressing me out, right? You stressing me out right now. You stressing me, right? So then he gets on the roof. Then he starts to, then I'm like, okay, maybe we should, and then I asked him again. I'm like, okay, so how did you get up here? How'd you get here? And he was like, oh, I took an elevator, and somehow I got up here, and then I got lost. I couldn't figure out how to get back down. And then I'm like, okay, well, where was the elevator? This elevator that you said you got up there with. He's like, oh, it's over there. And he pointed down, basically over here. And I'm like, okay, I think I know where that elevator is. So then we walk, and I'm like, okay, I'll walk with you over there to the elevator, just to make sure you get back where you're trying to be. And he's like, okay. So we walking down, and he's like walking all like, I don't know, maybe like he on a drug, or he didn't seem or look drunk, but he seemed out of it. So he could have been on some kind of drug or something, I don't know, or just mentally out of it. So he's walking all goofy, and then he tripped, like he was jumping over this event or something like that, and then he jumped and tripped. And I'm like, be careful, just be careful, please, be careful. Because he could have tripped and went up. Woo, child. So, and I have boy cousins too, and sometimes I just be like, so we're walking. Then we get around the corner, and then I have to go up a stair. I had to go up the stairs to get to here. I don't want to get in my car or whatever and go and disappear. I'm like, I'm going up these stairs. I'll meet you up there. You'll see me. So I go up there, and then I get in that corner, and I see him, and I'm like, hey, I'm up here. He's like, oh, okay. Then we go around the corner, and then he's walking, and he has like a little bag of clothes, like a grocery bag with clothes in it. So we're walking over here, and then he's like, oh, I don't see the elevator. I'm like, well, dang, I don't know. It's too high for you. You can't just jump right here. You can't jump up here like that. And he's like, oh, there's a ladder. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't see that. So then we got the ladder, and he's struggling lifting it up. I'm like, if you lift it up and put it in this direction, I'll grab it. I'll catch it. And then I did, which is where it is. It's still there right now. This was 2 days ago. And then I'm like, be careful coming up this ladder. Okay, be careful, please. Coming up the ladder, and then he hops off. And then we get like right there, and I'm walking. And I didn't feel guided or anything to be like, are you okay? What's wrong? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Or pry, or be like, are you trying to jump? Or anything like that. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm glad you're good. I'm glad we figured that out. And then I was like, so are you from Houston? Are you from around here? He's like, oh yeah, I'm from Houston. Are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Houston. I live in these apartments. And then we're going down the elevator, and then he's like, yeah, I don't live here, but my coworkers are here. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, I was like, do you have your phone? My phone died. If you trying to use that, I could charge it or whatever. But my phone died. Do you have your phone? He's like, he looked at me and he paused for a second. And he basically could tell, I'm not about to just let you, you're going to have to show me that you not going nowhere. You're not about to stay here right here and go back up there. So you're going to have to show me whether you're going to your friend or something, or you're going to leave these apartments and not do what you're about to do. So then he's like, yeah, I have my phone. And then once we got to the next floor, he's like, oh yeah, my car's right there. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if you need anything, let me know. If you need help finding, I'm sure I can help you find them, blah, blah, blah. So then I went my way. I went to the car. And then he went to his car, and I drove. I looked at him, and he could see me looking at him, because it looked like he was about to stay sitting in that car, and he basically knew I wasn't about to just, at that point. So he's like, okay. So he got in his car, he started driving. He was driving behind me, so we drove and drove and drove and drove and drove and drove to the bottom until we left and went our different ways. So that basically was the story. So then after the story, it wasn't really hitting me until I went to get gas. I was about to still try to go to the mall, but I realized when I got to the gas station that wasn't what I was being guided to do. That whole journey leading up to, and that was what that's why I only had slippers on, right? Because I wasn't going nowhere really. What God was guiding me to do was right there, right? And that happened. So then I'm pumping gas, and then I just start busting out crying. Thinking about, like, what if I had not done every single thing? What if my phone was on and I wasn't paying attention? I would have been going down, looking down at the GPS. I wouldn't have seen him. What if I stayed sitting there for a little longer trying to change my clothes? All these different things, to where it was divine order for me to be there at that exact time, and even for me to be as calm as I was. Every single thing, every single moment. And it's very interesting, because I had this thought, and I had an idea for a video or a topic inside a video. I think I even talked about it in a video that I recorded. I'd be recording videos all the time. Y'all just don't ever get some of them. So I had this thought. I was like, what stops God from sending someone in the form of an angel that would appear gay, or that is gay, or that, again, appears gay? Because angels come in whatever form they need to come in to deliver a message, or to guide you in some kind of way, right? And so what stops God from sending you somebody in the form of somebody that you would perceive as gay or lesbian or trans or whatever the case may be? And when I was thinking about that, I was like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. If God could send you something in the form of a bird, God will use any type of vessel to send you a message or send you guidance, whatever. And you're challenged. Are you going to make the decision towards life? And this is another thing that I was watching a podcast. Somebody said that evil backwards is live. You ever heard the cartoon say evil? The opposite is alive. Alive. Evil. Alive. Live. Right? And it's so interesting that it's like, when you miss the mark, it's about making a choice of life or making a choice of death. Making a choice that makes you feel alive, making a choice that makes you feel dead, like you're dying, right? And when God is guiding you, God is going to guide you towards life. God is going to guide you towards being alive, right? And it doesn't matter what your avatar is. That's the beautiful thing about an actual relationship. And this is something I was just thinking about. So in terms of angels, some of y'all are gonna assume that I'm perceiving myself as an angel, right? And everybody wants to be an angel when it comes to when they're talking about religious stuff. But outside of that, y'all, when you want to be cool in front of your friends, it's cool to be on demon time, right? But the reality is we're all on demon time and angelic time, depending on which decision we choose to make in the moment. So I was trying to go on for 20 more minutes, but my phone overheated and died. And I was talking, and I was sweating, and I was hot. And I tried again after that, and again, and I realized that was the message. So, that's it. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see y'all on the next video.